Hello and thank you for tuning in to Zakdos TV. Today we are doing a deck tech. Basically, I've been working on Boros Burn for the better part of a month. Since the new format came out, I've had two decks in mind. One is Orzhov Aristocrats. It's been pretty bad, so I'm kind of abandoning that at this point. The other has been Boros Burn. Basically, if you know me at all, you know that I love any burn deck that can possibly exist. And fortunately right now we have, in my opinion, a very viable burn deck in standard. It's got a great mana base, some classic cards that are just burn stalwarts, and yeah, let's just take a look and kind of go through it. And so first we start off with Bolt Wave. It's a standard 4 of. It's just 3 damage to the face for 1 mana is good. Has always been good. Can't say necessarily will always be good, but it's good right now. 1 damage, or 1 mana, 3 damage, it's solid. Burst Lightning, it's been in standard for a while now, since Foundations came out. You can kick it, deal 4 damage instead of 2 for not a great rate, but a very flexible, reasonable rate. It's a 4 of in the deck. You just want those in any burn deck you can have. Fanatical Firebrand was a late inclusion to this deck. First I started with 2, then I up to 3, then I went to a full 4 because the flexibility of this card is just astounding. It can ping off a Llanowar Elf. It can ping the face and activate Plasma Bolt for its full 3 damage. It can ping your Screaming Nemesis to stop your opponent from gaining life the rest of the game. It's just really, really good and flexible, and I have, after a bit of deliberation, decided that I want 4 of them in the deck. Another easy 4 of is Hired Claw. Comes down on 1, solid body. You can activate it for a pretty good rate to put +1/+1 counters on it. It pings double if you have more than 1 out. It's just good in a damage-based aggressive deck. Right now I've got 3 Plasma Bolts. A lot of lists are running 4. I think 3 is fine. What I could do is go down and shave the opera love songs either to 1 or 0. But basically, Plasma Bolt is a sorcery speed shock at worst. It's a sorcery speed bolt at best. So basically, Lightning Bolt, now there's a card that's always going to be good. If you can even get a sorcery speed Lightning Bolt, sometimes it's worth having that value in your burn deck. Opera Love Song, I'm considering dropping this card. I started with a full 4. It's kind of awkward sometimes, but the instant speed exile top 2 cards of your library can be very good. And if you do something like put +2/+0 on a couple of slingshot or slick shot show-offs, can be helpful. So I've still got it in the deck, but it is usually one of my first cuts in quicker matchups, and it could just be out of the deck by the time all is said and done. So we move on to Slick Shot Show Off. Bird Wizard gets +2/+0 till end of turn. You can basically pump this up with a bunch of instant and sorcery spells. It's just really good in a deck like this. I've seen people not running this in a burn strategy, and I don't think this is correct. I think you want this in every burn strategy you can do in standard right now. Boros Charm. It's a classic. It's in standard. Did you know that? I knew that. Yeah, classic burn spell, 4 damage for 2 mana. Really good rate. You can also use the other 2 modes, get your stuff indestructible till the end of turn, or give something double strike until end of turn. Basically, if you've cast another spell and you have a show off on the battlefield and you Boros Charm for double strike, you can hit them for 10. So I've done that a number of times. It's a pretty good little combo that's not really hard to set up. 10 damage, as you imagine, in a burn deck. Kind of what you want to be going for. And next we have Lightning Helix.
Oh, it's Lightning Helix! Oh my god!
It's just a classic burn spell. It's really good. 2 mana for 3 damage, either to the face or to a guy. Instant speed, you gain 3 life. What isn't there to love? So it's an easy inclusion in a Boros Burn deck. The other easy inclusion in a Boros Burn deck is a 4 of Screaming Nemesis. Definitely love this card. Definitely want to draw it every single game I possibly can. 3 damage on a dude, 3 power body. It's good. Getting in for haste, and then you can potentially stop him from gaining life if you use its Boros Reckoner ability. Like I said, ping it with your Fanatical Firebrand, hit it with your Burst Lightning. Sometimes the opponent even is desperate and needs to hit it, and you fling back some damage. They can't gain life the rest of the game. It's just something you want to be doing in a burn deck. I want to draw this every game I can. So it's an easy 4 of. What I've got as a 2 of right now is the Nova Hellkite. First I started with it in the deck, took it out for a while, and then I was like, you know what? I really want that card. So I've got it as a 2 of. It pings a creature when it comes into play. You can warp it for 3, get in for 4 damage in the air, play it for 5, get 4 damage in the air for 5 mana that sticks around. I've played plenty of Storm Breath Dragons before. This does a pretty good Storm Breath Dragon impression when it comes down to it. So yeah, I got it as a 2 of, just kind of like having it in the deck. Taking a look at the mana base here, we start off with 7 mountains. You want to just have every mana source in the deck producing red, and I'll show you why in just a moment here. But basically we start with a base of 7 mountains. That seems fine. 4 Inspiring Vantages. Again, we're Boros Burn. It's fast. You want to have it. The new inclusion is Sacred Foundry, and this is why I think the deck is sort of pushed over the top as a good deck right now, because the mana base just got so much better. You can put 4 Sunbillow Verges in here, and you have 11 total mountains in your deck to feed off, to turn that on. So it's really good. I think having Sacred Foundry in the deck and Sunbillow Verge, I'm going ahead and running 4 of. And then the last land we have is a Starting Town. I'm running that as a 2 of. Again, I've seen lists that run it as a 4 of. I don't think you need to do that. I like having this configuration of my mana right now. It's 21 lands total. I could be arguing into going to 22 just because I've had an annoying amount of 1-land hands, but I also hate flooding in a burn deck, so I think 21 is a solid choice for the time being. Could potentially go up to 22 if I feel so inclined. So let's move on to the sideboard. We've got 2 Fire Magics, just a really good, powerful card. Can get a lot of token strategies, can get a lot of just little go-wide strategies. It can often not kill the stuff in your deck. It does kill a show off in all likelihood if you're doing it for a second mode here, but I just like having it in the deck. I think it's really good value for potentially 1 mana, instant speed, kill off a couple of their dudes. I think it's really good. Another inclusion here is Get Lost. Easily one of the best removal spells in Standard, if not the best removal spell in Standard. I like having it as a 2 of because it doesn't go face in a burn deck, but it can also help push through what you need to push through and get you there to the promised land of 0 life. Next, we have 3 Rest in Peace. It is one of the best graveyard hate spells of all time. It turns off death triggers. It exiles graveyards. It just instantly exiles anything that's going into the graveyard. I could see, just because it comes down a little bit earlier, using something like Ghost Vacuum, but I've got access to Rest in Peace with white. I'm playing Rest in Peace. It's good. Another recent inclusion for me was Blooming Blast. I've got this as a 2 of. I was running Torch the Tower in here for the exile effect, but Blooming Blast can do a pretty good Searing Blaze effect, where you deal 2 damage to target creature and the creature doesn't need to die, and if you gift a treasure, it also hits the controller for 3. So I've had this work for me a couple of times. I've had it be bad a couple of times, but I think it's worth including in a deck of this style. Next, we have Case of the Crimson Pulse. It's just card advantage when you want some card advantage coming out of the board. And then because Case doesn't work well with other cases, I'm playing a Count on Luck. Now, you'll notice here that it costs 3 red pips, and that's why I want my mana base to have everything producing red potentially. So that's why we've got it so heavy on red. We are a little mana hungry with this card, a little color hungry, I guess we could say. But this is just another card advantage card. And then the last thing we've got on our sideboard here is Sunspine Lynx. I've got it as a 4 of. I could be persuaded to even put it in the main deck. It's just so good in a burn deck. Hits people for greedy mana bases. That's one of the first things I'm looking at when I pull up the sideboard. Is their mana base greedy? If it is, throw 4 of these in there. Hit them hard. Stop them from gaining life. I just, when you want it, you really want it. And that's a good definition of a sideboard card. You just really want it in certain matchups. It's very rare that you don't want it, which could lead me to, again, put it in the main board. But I think it's a perfect sideboard get 'em card, and so I've got it as a full 4 of out of the board. So that is our Boros Burn deck. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we will have more in the future. My name is Zakdos of Zakdos TV. Thank you for tuning in, and have a great day.